here the 6 principles of diet planning. If you take the nutrition class with me, anybody taking nutrition class with me? So we have a specific chapter just on this section. But for this class, I'll just go, just make an overview quickly here. Very important, everybody must know the 6 principles of diet planning, because these refer to nutrition criteria now, meaning that, I have to pay attention to my health, right? So therefore, I need to know how to plan my diet. All right? So the number one here, we have 6. We have 6, all right? So the number one is adequacy. So what does it mean? Here it basically means that I have sufficient energy. So when you eat, right? When you eat, you want to make sure that what you are eating is actually enough. All right? So here, I just want to remind you that this is a section that talks about the 6 principles, okay? The 6 principles of diet planning. So the first one is adequacy. Adequacy means what? It means that you have enough energy. So what did we say about energy in this class? Energy is what? Talk about what? Calories, right? Where do we get the energy from? The food. Okay? And what did we mention? We talk about the nutrient that give us energy. And we call them the macronutrients. So when we focus on what? The carbohydrates, we focus on fats, and we focus on the protein here. All right. So here, how much energy in general, like how much do we need in a daily basis? Do you remember? How many calories? Yeah. So we go in average with what? 2,000 kilocalorie. Okay. We go in average with 2,000. We go in average with 2,000 kilocalories here. Now, what is the challenge? The challenge sometimes is, we face with a situation where maybe we're having too much or we don't have enough. All right. So how do we know it? So we have what we call the acceptable, right? We have the acceptable range for these macronutrients. For example, out of the 2,000 kilocalorie, what will be the acceptable range? So we have the carbohydrates, all right? So we have the protein, and then we have fat. Okay? So please write it down with me. So for the carbohydrates, it's supposed to be 45 to 65%. Okay. For protein, 10 to 35%, and for fat, 20 to 35%. Now, let's just be careful here. I give you this value based on the 2,000 kilocalories. Right? We can also check them based on how much you're actually eating in a meal. All right. So based on that one, if for example, you go to a restaurant and you get a meal. So that meal is giving you, for example, 110 grams of carbohydrates. All right. It gives you 25 grams of protein, and it gives you 20 grams of fat, and you have 5 grams of alcohol. Okay? So look at this problem. You go to a restaurant, and this is the meal that you are having. Okay? 110 grams of carbs, 25 grams of protein, all right? 20 grams of fat, and 5 grams of alcohol. So the question is, what is the kilocalorie value of this meal? Alright, can we do it? So here, we want to know, this is the question, what is the kilocalorie value of this meal? So this is the first question. Anybody has the answer? Huh? Anybody? What is the kilocalorie of this meal? Yeah, Paolo? 755. Okay, Paolo says 755. Alright, so how did you do it?
Carbs is 4 calories for 1 gram.
So you do 110 grams, right? 110 grams of carbs, you multiply by 4. How much is it?
140.
So we have 440, okay, kilocalorie here. And then?
4 protein.
So protein give us 4. So how much do we have? 100. Fat, how much we get?
9.
We'll multiply by 9. How much we have here? 180, right? How about alcohol?
7.
So alcohol still give us energy. And how much do we get from there? 5 grams of alcohol. So this is how you get the value from the energy from the meal you just got, right? Guys, pay attention to this development, all right? So then, what is the total here? Total energy? How much total energy? Exactly. We have 755 kilocalories. Everybody's happy? You got it, right? All right. So, now, the second question. Here, I gave you the acceptable range for micronutrients. Carbohydrates, 45 to 65%. Okay? Protein, 10 to 35%. Fat, 20 to 35%. Okay, guys? So, the second question is the range, so here we want to know, if the range of micronutrient consumption is actually acceptable here. So, basically the question is to know the quantity of protein that you ate. Is it acceptable or not acceptable? The quantity of fat that you put in the body, is it acceptable or not acceptable? You understand? So here, how do you solve this problem? Anybody has an idea? For example, how many carbohydrates did we eat here? 440, right? Is it okay or not okay? Who says it's okay? One person? Everybody else? The quantity of carbohydrates here, is it acceptable or not acceptable? Good or not good? Alright, so how do we solve this problem? How do we know it's good or not good? Anybody? How do you know if 440 kilocalorie of carbohydrates is actually okay or not okay? Yeah? So here we have two ways. We have two ways we can look at it. Very important. And when I will ask the question on the exam, you really have to be, just be careful and understand the question here. All right? So we're still talking about adequacy, meaning having enough energy. The first principle of diet planning. All right? So we want to know if 440 kilocalories from carbohydrates is actually acceptable or not. So the first way we can look at it is you can ask the question, if this is what I ate for the whole day, all right? So if I'm talking about the whole day, I'm talking about what? 2,000 kilocalories. Okay? So how do I know if this is acceptable or not? So what do? We do 440, we divide by 2,000, right? And we multiply by 100. How much is it? Can somebody give me the answer for this one? How much is it? 440 divided by 2,000, you multiply by 100. What is the percentage here? 22%, right? So now, we put here 22%. Alright? 22%, is it acceptable or not? Now you change your mind, right? So why is it not acceptable? If this is all I ate for the whole day, it's not acceptable because it's below the range here. So if it's less than this one, we start talking about undernutrition. I will give you the definition in a minute. If it's over 65, it's getting like too much. Okay? Now, the second approach, very, very, very important to look at it. If you look at it based on what? 755, you look at it based on 755 kilocalories. This is the second approach, how to look at it. If you look at based on 75 kilocalories, is it acceptable or not acceptable? Acceptable. How do you do it? You do 440, right? You divide by 755. How much is it? Huh? So here we have 50. Anybody else? 58%? 58? So here we have 58%. So 58%, is it acceptable or not acceptable? It's okay, right? So it's okay because we have it in the range here. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys really get how to solve that one. Okay. Any question? All right. So we're talking about the principle of diet planning. I'm still on the section of nutrition criteria. So that's the number one. Number one is adequacy. So now, number two, the number two here is balance. Okay, you guys follow, right? Number two is balance. You can write that section on your notebook. So what does it mean here? Balance means you want enough, but not too much of one group of food. So you will see on your notebook, you will see my plate, all right? You will see your plate. You know, when you go to the restaurant, you have a plate, So the plate looks a little bit like this one. Okay? So what do we need to eat in bigger quantity? So what do we have here? So here we have vegetables. Okay? And what do we have here on top? So here we have fruits. What do we have here? We have grains. And here? Aha. So here we have protein. Alright, guys. Look at this section. We have vegetable, fruits, and grains, and now we have a protein. What is a protein? It's a nutrient, right? This is the only nutrient we found on that plate. Okay? And if we need to also plan a diet, for example here, if you look at the whole food pyramid, you don't see protein on the food pyramid. What you see here, what we used to have here is people, they used to put what? Meat. Okay? So here, we are not putting meat anymore. Any reason? Why we don't put meat here? So when we plan a diet, we have to be considerate of everybody else, right? We have people who are vegetarians. Okay? So we know that we can get a protein, from meat, okay? And we can also get a protein from what? From beans. Okay? So here now we have the protein as the only group. But over time most people will be eating the vegetable, fruits and grains. So not a big deal. So what is the problem when we talk about balance? This is the problem when we go to some restaurant or the way we eat at home. So balance here, it means what? Not too much of one food group. Okay, guys? Not too much of one food group. So I give you an example here. You go to the restaurant, and this is what you have. You have your plate, like this, and then you tell me, oh, okay, I have all the food groups there. I have vegetables, I have everything. But the difference is, this whole section, you have the meat, okay? You have a bit of the fruits here. All right, so, and then you have your grains, and then you have what? You have the vegetables. Okay? Let's be honest, most of the time that's how we eat. Okay? This plate is not balanced. The reason it's not balanced is we have too much of one food group. Okay? We have too much of one food group here, where in contrary, we have to have it this way. Now you can also have this. Equally divided in four, where you have veggies, you have the meat, and you have the fruits, and then you have the grains. Equally divided. This one as well is not okay. All right? So here, we want to make sure that in our diet, vegetables are actually the food that we eat the most. Okay, guys? So just keep that in mind. So the number two principle is what? The number two is balance. All right? So number three, please write it on your booklet, right? Because you guys don't have it. Number three is nutrient density. So nutrient density here means what? So we want to know how much energy we have in 1 gram of food. Basically, we want to have enough nutrients, but with less energy. All right? So here is what? It means we want more nutrients, but less energy. But energy here, what do I mean? We're talking about kilocalories, right? So how do we see these things? For example, if you go to Tim Hortons, right? I have a full chapter on this section for those who take the nutrition class. All right, we'll go in details with this one. But you will see that the energy that we get from one of these cakes, this small cake gives you actually more energy than eating like a full meal. All right, it looks small, but the energy that you get from 1 gram is actually bigger than 1 gram of a normal food, or if you eat like 2 apples or something like that. All right. So this is the number 3. Number 4. Number 4 here is very important element here. Kilocalorie control. Kilocalorie control, and this is the part I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this one. Kilocalorie control is what we talk about. Kilocalorie is the energy. This is very important part. All right. Why do we have to control that energy? Kilocalorie control means what? It means what? It means energy. Energy in equal energy out. What does it mean? If you want to keep a healthy weight, so what do we do? To keep a healthy weight, all right, we want to make sure that the energy, right, I put in my body is almost equal the energy I'm actually spending by running or by walking. Okay? So what does it mean here? For example, here, energy in, this is when you are eating. Let's say you eat, for example, 2,000 kilocalories. All right? And then when you work out, you know, you want to spend not exactly 2,000 kilocalories, but not too far from it. But after eating, if the only thing that you are doing is just to sleep, what does it mean? The energy is going to accumulate in your body. All right? So this is why we have to learn. For example, people like to program how to lose weight. We need to actually know how much weight I need to lose. All right. So from this one, we'll be talking about energy. Energy expenditure. So energy out here, all right? This is the energy that we are spending when we work out, when we work, when we are doing some form of exercise. All right? So if we don't do it, what happens? We accumulate energy in the body, and the energy will be transformed into fat, so we gain weight. And when we gain weight, most of the time, we are calling for new health issues. All right? Okay, and we talk about the form of obesity later on. So, energy expenditure, meaning energy out, how do you calculate that one? All right? Pay really attention to this one. So this one, what we do 0.175, okay? We multiply by NET, and we multiply by your weight. Your weight is what? Your weight is in kilogram. Okay? The NET here is the metabolic for the n here. We have the equivalent here, and then here the T is for the task. Can you see? Alright, so energy expenditure, we talk about energy in, energy out. Alright? So now we have energy expenditure. We have 0.175 multiplied by the metabolic equivalent task. Alright? And we multiply by your weight. Alright? So here, 1 MET, okay, 1 MET here gives you what? Is 1 kilocalorie per kilogram per hour. Now, this one, the value. So the value of this one, so it goes from 0.9, okay? 0.9 is when? For example, when you are sleeping. When you are sleeping, do you spend much energy? No, right? You guys are sleeping now? Please don't sleep. You know, so when you are sleeping, you don't spend much energy. Okay? So here, the value will be lower. The value will be lower. This is, for example, when you are sleeping. So the value will go from 0.9 to what? We can go all the way to 23. So 23 is, for example, when you are running. For example, 22.5 kilometers per hour. You're running actually pretty fast, and we calculate it, over a period of 1 hour. So guys, now remember that when I talk about the metabolic equivalent task here, the task here, we are talking about what? About exercise. We're talking about what you're actually doing at the moment, right? So here, what do you have? How do I lose the most energy? Do I lose the most energy when I'm sleeping or when I'm running? When I'm running, right? So this is why the physical activity part, when we are trying to lose weight, is very important. All right? So we need, and you will see that, we'll see that again later on. You will see that on the Korean plate. The Korean plate has some money on the bike. Meaning that after eating, we should not just stay put, right? After eating, it's encouraged to actually walk. It's actually encouraged to actually do something that will release the energy. Okay, now I will upload the file. I will upload the file with the MET value. I will only choose a few of them. Okay, I will not put everything. So this is actually very important. Now, guys, this is the way we're going to put them. So for the MET value, so what you have here, you have light, intensity, activity. Okay, light intensity activity is like what? I mean, just maybe like the simple world, just being home, watching Korean drama, This is actually pretty light. You don't spend much energy. Alright? So this one, the MET value is going to be below 3. For example, sleeping. Sleeping is going to be 0.9. Okay? Sleeping is going to be 0.9. Alright, so now if you do moderate, moderate is going to be between 3 to 6. Alright? Now, if you do a vigorous one, is going to be over 6. Hey guys, this is actually very important, and I really want you guys to get that part. Okay. Let's look at here. I'm talking about the activity. Light, moderate, vigorous, or intense. All right. So one time, you guys know well that also when we work out, when you work out, we also drink water. You guys remember I asked you how much water we should drink daily? Anybody remembers? What is the formula that I gave? How much water we should drink daily? Anybody? How much water shall we drink daily? Oh, everybody's sleeping. Want to go home now? Nobody wants to study today? All right. So, if we now, I would like to focus on this one: light, moderate, and vigorous. How much water shall we drink every day? Anybody? What is the formula? So we say that we go from 30 to 35 milliliter per kilogram. All right. Now, what is happening here is if we do a light intensity activity, all right. So then, in terms of water consumption, we need to add 0.5 liters of water into our daily consumption. All right? But if a person is doing a moderate physical activity, so here we add 1 liter. And if a person is doing a vigorous one, we add 1.5. So remember the problem we did last time. So what does it mean? You take a person, the person is 60 kilograms. Let me just give more weight maybe into it. That's very important to really follow what I'm doing here. So look at it. So we take we take this person. Okay, we call him Brice. He has 80 kilograms. Okay? Just remember, guys, I give you the notes that the last question on the exam, you always have to solve a problem. Okay? So please, follow. So this person has 80 kilograms, and the person wants to lose weight, for example. And then you tell the person, oh, number one, you need to follow the principle of, the 6 principles of diet planning. Okay? And then you need to exercise. So, but before that, the person needs to know how much weight they need to lose before they actually start the program, right? Okay? So here, I'm giving you some information about this person. All right? I'm giving you some information about this person. So follow. So the person has 80 kilograms. The person height is 150. Okay? The person height is 150. So now, the person is applying those principles of diet planning, okay, need to exercise, they also needs to lose weight. So the first thing that we need to do is calculate the person, what we call body mass index. We'll come back to it on the next chapter on dietary assessment. So the body mass index here, or BMI, so what do we do? Anybody remember how to calculate this? Body mass index? Anybody? So here we take the weight of the person, we divide by his height, square meter. Can you do it? How much is it? Anybody has the answer? So you have here 80 kilograms. You divide by what? 1.5. How much is it? How much is it? 35. That's it? 35, 55? Can somebody do it again? What is the answer? 35, 55? Alright, so we have a person body mass index. Guys, we study food and health, right? So now, this person, we need to know if this person is carrying, because this is the energy the person has in the body, right? So now, the BMI classification, we're going to see that on the next chapter as well. If it's below 18.5 kilograms per square meter, this person is underweight. Okay? It means the person needs to eat some more, needs more energy. Remember that the principle I'm giving you here now, we're talking about kilocalorie control. Energy in equal energy out. Alright? In this case, if it's below 18.5, the person is underweight, needs to eat a little bit more. If the person is between 18.5 and 24.9, this is a normal weight or a healthy weight. Alright? If the person is between 24.9 to 29.9, this person is overweight. Okay, guys? And now, if the person is over 30, this person is what? This person is obese. So now, you have all this information. Brice is 1.50 meters, 80 kilograms. What is his BMI classification? Obese or overweight? What is he? He's obese. Why? We have his BMI is 35.5, okay? And 35.5 is here. Okay, guys? Now you have the first element to say, oh, maybe the person being obese, you know, we need some energy out of the body. Alright? So, as we look at it, now we ask, right? The person is doing some type of physical activity. How much energy the person needs to lose? Energy expenditure. Okay? But first of all, you know, give you back the table. If the person is not exercising, right? The person is not exercising, the person is only sleeping, no physical activity, right? No physical activity. What is my sponge? No physical activity. How much is MET? No physical activity. How much is the MET? If the person is only sleeping, how much is it? What is the MET value if the person is only sleeping? So is not much going on, we can say, okay, it's around 0.9. You can actually put 1 if you want, because the person is not sleeping all day long. All right? You can actually even put 2, because sometimes the person is working, but is below 3. Remember that this person, according to what I told you, is doing light intensity activity, so it's below 3. Please try to understand this, right? Now, we also say, now, from here, you can calculate, you can get the energy expenditure. How much is the energy expenditure? This is, you can get the energy expenditure now based on the formula that I gave you. All right? So you get the energy expenditure when the person is asleep. And now the person comes and see you. All right? So now you say, okay, if you run, you tell the person, hey, let's do a program. If you run, for example, 22.5 kilometers an hour, all right? Maybe at a good space, all right? Or faster space. Maybe the space is what? Around 4.1, 4.2 per mile, whatever. Okay? Person is really not, frequently and faster. Here is his MET is going to be what? This one is going to be around 23. These are the only 2 values I gave you guys so far. I will give you a table with different values. Alright? It means that if I give you a problem and there's a physical activity involved, the task that is involved, say, okay, he's running, or he's only watching TV, or he's walking, you will see MET value on it. Alright? So then, from here, you can also calculate the energy expenditure when the person is running. And then you can just subtract it to know a little bit how much energy the person is going to be losing. Okay? So that's how you design some of these elements. And now, remember, the third question I will ask you is, oh, this guy is doing not intense but moderate moderate physical activity. Is 80 kilograms. Moderate physical activity means what? How much water shall you drink every day? I hope you guys follow, right? So you have to put everything together. Now, the formula that we have is what? We say 30 to 35 milliliters per kilogram. Alright? Hey, but he's doing some moderate physical activity. If you was just sleeping, okay, question I know, no problem. Alright? So, but if he's doing moderate physical activity, we need to add how much water here? Exactly. Also, you are not sleeping. Good. So, do you guys get it? So, when you see a problem, don't panic. Just look at it. Look at the different situations here. Okay, guys? Alright, so let me finish today because we're talking about the nutritional criteria. We'll continue again on Thursday. I told you that we have 6. So I gave you number 5 and number 6. All right. I can erase this, right? Everybody's okay. All right. So Yeah, some people asked me the question. I told them that after the class, I will not today, but maybe tomorrow, I will upload this class on YouTube. So if you miss some part, you can go back to the YouTube, you can watch again, maybe take some notes. And you can come to my office again, you know, if you have some more questions. Okay, guys? So now, planning a healthy diet, number 5. Number 5 is moderation. Moderation means what? You know, so it means that we should avoid things such as excess of salt, or things like added sugar. These are foods that we should eat in moderation. All right? For example, drinking too much soda may not be the best for us. Okay? Once in a while, okay, but these are the things that we should try to avoid. Okay? The number 6 principle is variety. Variety means what? It means you need to eat different food groups every day. For example, I spend more time on a nutrition class. We ask you, what did you eat today? People will say, oh, I ate rice. What did you eat yesterday? Oh, I ate rice. What did you eat the day before? I also ate rice. That might not be good, right? And then you say, oh, but okay, Professor, I also ate some fruits. Okay, which fruit do you eat? Oh, I ate strawberry yesterday. How about today, strawberry? How about the day before, strawberry? Okay? So then you have a problem. So variety means what? In the food groups that we have, for example, if you say, I'm eating fruit, on Monday, you eat strawberry, okay? On Tuesday, you eat banana. If you love strawberry that much, you can eat again the strawberry then on Wednesday. Basically, you want to have different food groups in your diet. Do you know why? You see, every food has its own nutrients, right? And if you want to get all the nutrients, then you need to eat a variety of food. All right? So that's the reason we do it. All right, so as the time is flying a little bit, you have, still on the same page here, you have a nutrition facts panel. We have a whole chapter about it. I will show you how to read the food label. All right, but below you have vegetarians, and we ask a question, for example, what are the advantages of following a vegan diet or vegetarian diet? All right, so you have that box there. Anybody has an idea why a vegetarian diet might actually be good? For example, we take the case of this man. We take the case of Brice. He's obese, 35.5 body mass index. So he needs to lose a bit of weight, right? Is a vegan diet good for him? What do you guys think? Would that be a good option? All right. So what we learn, what we actually learn is most people who follow the vegan diet seem to get a bit healthier. Okay. So by following that vegan diet, all right. So the vegan diet reduces the risk of what? So you have like a box there on your workbook, all right. So it reduces the risk of what? Heart disease. We'll talk about this one when we talk about cardiovascular disease. So we have a whole chapter on cardiovascular disease. All right. So it also reduces the risk of what? Hypertension or high blood pressure. All right? Hypertension or blood pressure. So we have a program of what? Reducing the risk of what? Diabetes. We also have a full chapter on diabetes. And you will see the relationship between obesity or BMI over 30 and some of these diseases. And it also reduces the risk of what? Some cancers. Not all of them, but only some. Alright guys, like I said, don't study this class just to, don't just memorize. Try to understand. Everything is kind of logical. So you will see the relationship, right, of a BMI over 30, who makes a person obese, right? So obesity will actually increase the risk of heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, and some cancer. Okay? But a vegan diet will actually reduce the risk of developing those diseases. Okay, guys? Alright, I see most people actually look pretty hungry. We're going to stop here for today. The next class is one on Thursday, right? This Thursday. So we look a little bit again on the nutritional criteria. What you can do, you have some questions there, try to understand them, and then we look at the cultural criteria, religious criteria. So I hope you finish this chapter on Thursday. Alright? So hopefully we finish this chapter on Thursday. Always take the time to read before you come to class, and come and see anytime you are. Okay guys? Have a nice day, and I'll see you on Thursday.
Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name.
You tell me, say, make I know that everything's gonna be okay. You are the father to the fatherless, the miracle working God. You make the blind man to see. You made a crippled man to walk. You are the lily of Galilee. You make impossible possible.
Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name. I woke up strong on a Monday. I go to gym on a Tuesday. Then to the studio on Wednesday. I work it out till Thursday morning. I be chilling on a Friday. I play some shows on Saturday. If you ask me what my best day is, it's when I praise you on Sunday morning. I got my throat in my mind. Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most high. Hallowed be the name. Lord, you are the most